What's up, family? Here we are, day 5. The 10% happier self-care journey. I'm really enjoying this journey, and I'm really grateful to you all for joining me. All the feedback, all the support, all the people that are grateful for me being able to share. So thanks for joining me for one more session. Hey Willie, how you doing today, bro? So day 5. So day 5, the title is Letting Thoughts Go. And it feels like, again, I'll give the context. So the 10% happier concept is a meditation app that you can download on your phone, and it's filled with meditation courses by different contributors. And so I'm really enjoying going through it. It was written by a guy named Dan Harris, news anchor of ABC, had a panic attack several years ago, led him on a path to meditation. Funny thing is, it's the same thing that brought me to his app. I had a panic attack like maybe about 2 years ago, and doing some research, came across this app. It was perfect for me because the way that he wrote it, it's a very secular course, so it's just perfect for me. So I think that it's great for anybody, and they give a lot of good information, a lot of good courses, and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, I'm in the course, one of the courses in there called Phrases for Stress by Joseph Goldstein, and I've been enjoying it. It's cool because there's a few things that's just a reinforcer of what I know and even what I share with other people. Yeah, appreciate it, Willie. Hey, Coco. Hey, Matthew. Thank you for joining me. So I'm appreciating the course because it's a lot of refresher, a lot of things that I already know that I even share and teach, if you will, or offer to other people. And you know how it is. Sometimes you need it said to you. Sometimes the doctor needs a doctor, you know. The therapist needs a therapist at times. So I'm really appreciating it from that perspective because I get a chance to sit down and be given some gems. So Phrases for Stress is the course that I'm in right now, and I'm on session 6, which is called Letting Thoughts Go. The reason why I really appreciated this particular topic is that it's right in line with something that I realized back in 2012. It's about the movies that go on in our head, the narratives, the very real depictions. Joseph Goldstein said that his teacher had a phrase, and he said, the thought of your mother is not your mother. You know, and you can pretty much use that for any metaphor. The thought of something is not the thing itself. So what happens sometimes is we don't even realize, you know, subconsciously, that we're deeply pondering on something, a hypothetical, a scenario that's playing out in our head, a fear, like, you know, and we experience very deeply the emotions of it, even though it's not actually happening. Now, I didn't really struggle with this for a long time. In fact, this kind of thing was really to my benefit, you know, in many ways, because I often dream up scenarios, you know, that aren't real, but they're very helpful for like what I'm trying to figure out, especially if I'm trying to problem solve or if I'm trying to plan, you know, something like that. But recently what had been happening to me is that, you know, you go through different things in life, and the level of stress that I have been dealing with, like in the past couple months, it got to a level where I wouldn't so much have this happen while I was awake, but while I was asleep, my brain would be going, and I'll be going through these different scenarios that would cause me stress or anxiety or even depression. And it was while I was asleep. And when I would wake up, I would feel like very anxious. It's what let me know, what these feelings feel like, when you're dealing with this combination of stress, anxiety, and depression in different ways. So I would wake up with like these like really anxious feelings, right? And they were saying that's one of the symptoms of it, that kind of anxiousness. I would wake up with these really anxious feelings about like whatever the scenario was that played out in my dream. And of course, me being me, I knew that it wasn't real, and like I'd be like, all right, man, like snap out of it. But the wild thing was my emotions would be so wrapped up in it that even though I knew it wasn't real, it's like for several minutes, like I still would be very much feeling the emotions like really strongly. And then they would cause me not to be able to go back to sleep, or just be able to just rest. So the cool part, and it happened this morning, in fact, the cool part is that, through meditation, especially with breathing exercises, like you're able to completely flip the switch. So I noticed that this letting thoughts go thing has really helped me, especially with the other phrases like it's okay to feel this way, this is just a mind state, and then this new one, like combined together, these are like ways of just reprogramming. And when you combine it with the breathing thing, like I will forever I will never not meditate again. Like it is I used to meditate like maybe about 4 years ago. I had a short stint of like intentional meditation. I feel like the rest of my life flows kind of into meditation. I'm like constantly meditating. But like the act of sitting down and focusing on the breathing, I did like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I had a really nice course. And then due to just like my early morning regimen and getting into some other things that was really healthy and helpful for me, I didn't really keep the practice up. So now that I've come back to it, oh my gosh, like just some centered, focused breathing meditation. So this morning I was a bit anxious because I had to get some tax stuff taken care of for my appointment today, and it was pretty overwhelming. Anybody who is an entrepreneur knows what I'm talking about. Like, it's great being an entrepreneur. One of the worst things is when you got to deal with taxes, because you just got so much to account for. And with my business, it's like extra because I have like 2 online businesses, so I have like all kinds of expenses, that are everywhere. I do well as far as like saving my reports and receipts and all that kind of stuff. But then when you sit back and you look and you got like several hundred receipts that are all like relating to different things, it could just be like crazy and overwhelming. So I've been trying to figure out like an even more succinct system. So I'm headed to my accountant now, and I knew in going to bed last night that I was only going to have about 4 hours, and I was already overwhelmed just because of what I was dealing with regard to it. So when I woke up this morning, I was pretty anxious. I'm like, okay, I slept for like an extra 30 to 40 minutes to even try to give myself some more rest, but then that took away from the 4 hours that I had. So I was like, okay, all right, so I'm definitely feeling overwhelmed, definitely feeling anxious right now. So I got 2 options. I can either, give her a call and say, hey, look, just give her the truth. Like, I need a few more days. I'm completely overwhelmed right now, but I'm getting it together. And and she probably would have been like, okay, cool. Second option was, you know what, just take a moment and do a meditation, like breathe. That these anxious feelings that you're feeling are, they're just a mind state. It's okay to feel this way. We could let these thoughts go. So I listened to this particular meditation for like maybe about the 8th time now, because I'll repeat it. They're very short. This one was one of the longest ones that I've encountered in this session, and this was only 10 minutes or so. So I already knew what it was because I went through it a couple times yesterday. So I put it on, and I did some pranayama breathing just in the bed. I didn't even get out of the bed. deep breathing exercises. I listened to, this course again. And I'm talking about like 10 minutes later, like I was not only up and at 'em, I finished all of the work that I was going to do that I knew would take me at least like probably like the whole 4 hours, which was what was making me so, so anxious about it and feeling a bit overwhelmed. And I was like done in 2 hours flat, just from like breathing. Like my whole vibe, everything changed. My whole vibe changed, and I was able to regulate, my levels of anxiety. I was able to regulate like my heart and just my overall vibe just from breathing. So those of you all that do meditate, you already know. You already know what this is about. Those of you that don't, like, I'm glad you're joining with me for this journey, because like, real talk, like I'm going to be doing, I mentioned it in my session yesterday, I'm actually going to be doing my own meditation, my guided meditation sessions in the future for sure. And I can't wait, because I'm basically going to take my same time where I'm already meditating, and I'm just going to invite everyone in on it and turn it into a guided meditation, along with like the music that you hear in the background right now. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. So that was, it was just another example of just the continuous process revealing and just amazing revelations of this journey. Self-care, y'all. Self-care. And this form of self-care is so fun. When you meditate at the beginning of your day, it allows for you to like really kick off your morning well. And I do mine with like yoga, yoga stretches and that kind of thing. So I'm getting like 2 bangs for my bucks. Hey, what's up, James? I hear you, bro. Let's connect, bro. Let's stay in touch, man. Yeah, so it really makes a difference. So again, just a quick recap, and I'm out of here. This is session 6. I'm on day 5, and the 10% Happier Journey, Dan Harris meditation courses. I am in the phrases for stress. Today was letting thoughts go, and he just talked about how we have these movies running in our minds, and many times they're subconscious, but our entire emotions are wrapped up in them, even when they're not real. And even when they are real, we still are like adding a whole lot to it. So the goal is to be able to understand that we can let these thoughts go, and we can reset, and we can recenter and focus again. So that's about it. In the background here, I've been playing the tunes from Key Reflections. If you haven't heard it already, please check that out. I really want to know what your thoughts are, and I want you to add it to your meditative and your quiet time too. So you can just look up Aaron Hill Key Reflections on Spotify, Apple Music, like whatever your streaming service is. Come back to this video, drop a line, and let me know what you think. And yeah, that's about it. I started off with Yellows of Spring. That was the first tune, and then it went through Home, and then this right here is Sweet Spirit. So yeah, other than that, I'll be back this evening, 6 p.m. for Mood Mondays. Definitely, if you're around, join me for that. It's going to be really fun. I think that I figured out the time that I'm going to do Mood Mondays. It's going to be 7 p.m. every Monday evening, unless I have a gig or something like that. And tonight is going to be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time too, for my West Coasters and my out-of-countryers. My people in Australia, if you're at the tip of, what do they say, it's in Melbourne. If you're at the tip, I forgot, one of the places. If you're there, it's already like Tuesday afternoon or something like that. So, but anyway, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, 7 p.m. on the regular. I just have a rehearsal tonight, so I'm going to do it an hour before. So join me for that if you're around, so we could talk about the weekend, how yours was. I could tell you how mine was. We could talk about how your Monday was. Just touch base on a bunch of different things. And then other than that, join me shortly, probably after I come from getting my taxes done. It'll probably be about maybe 2 p.m. Join me for the word of the day. I put up a joke yesterday for those that didn't see it. I basically said that after 365 days of doing this word a day thing, I'm gonna just switch my whole life around and just travel as a professional traveling Scrabble player who only wears monk outfits daily, like those brown monk outfits. And I'm only gonna put the hood of that outfit on when it's time to play Scrabble. That's all I'm gonna do with my life, because I'm gonna be so crazy smart after 365 days of learning a new word a day. So if you follow me and you learn the words as well, you'll be able to grab your monk outfit, and we'll be we'll be the world's traveling Scrabble team. Hey Claire, hey Eric. Thank y'all for joining me, everybody. All right, love y'all. I'm out of here. About to get these numbers done. Drop a line, let me know what you think, and thanks for joining me for this self-care journey. Be well. Peace.